Some people are scared of being weird. I'm not a frustrated scientist. I can even say I'm not a scientist, but I have to work under my supervisor to feel more advanced. I'm in the microbiology lab today, and yes, this is like it's a power switch. Yeah. So I decided to wear my grandma's sweater. I just like it. It's very, very free, and I'll be working with this equipment. It's a centrifuge. I've already done most of the work, so I'm just trying to make my supernatant clear. I'm not just walking around. I mean, in science, it takes a lot of patience, so I have to just wait till my work is done. Sometimes waiting for samples can take the whole day. It seems to me that is what science is all about, or something more. It's not like scientists are usually frustrated all the time, but it's not easy. Like you can see me walking around here because I have something in the equipment I'm using and I have to go check it. At the end, if it doesn't give me the result in accordance to what is generally known, it's going to be a difficult thing for me. I might have to start all over again. That's something that takes a space of 1 month to finish, and you have to start over again. That's like your 2 months have gone, and sometimes some papers doesn't really tell you the exact thing, so you have to try it out yourself before you believe. But that's not what I'm scared of. I'm not scared of trying out new things or doing it the right way. I'm not a frustrated scientist. I can even say I'm not a scientist, to be on the safer side. To be a scientist, it takes a whole lot. Sometimes you go back home very frustrated, like you feel like you're not doing it right. And some people are scared of being weird in their science field. You have to be weird to think, like you have to think outside the box even makes you weird. You don't have to think like every other person. This is in comparison to the science I was exposed to. Get to learn things that have already been done. Like it's a different thing trying to know the origin of certain things, and it's another thing to continue in that path. Like everything is revolving around there. Like here now, I'm making a research that has to do with chicken embryo and in relation to tumor, cancer, and something similar to that. So you can imagine if someone from a certain area coming to a place that is as advanced as this place, you really feel depressed, frustrated, and all that, because you're not even thinking alike. You're not as advanced as they are. But that's not a problem to me. I'm glad I'm really doing well. But say this is not an easy. You see, as I'm having these gloves on, I don't have to use it to touch my face, some other parts, because sometimes you get to touch equipment that harbors toxic materials, just different things, So this is me reading up a kit paper, know how it's been run. If you don't do it according to the stipulated talk, it might be difficult for you to carry on. There's something overwhelming about science. Like you study, you read, you don't understand a thing until you put that particular thing into practice. Like you just have to try it out, Who says you shouldn't play in a lab? They said in their rules that if you do that, you might contract some toxic materials. You might be exposed to certain things. So you have to try. I'm feeling dizzy right now, but I have to play. This is interesting. It's coming up easy. You should try it too. This is not about pipettes. This is not about tips. This is not about cuvette. This is about enjoyment. Ciao. But there's this interesting thing I saw, that the difference between a doctoral student, a scientist, and a technician. When the doctoral students are trying to figure out something, they find it very difficult too. And then a scientist, to an extent, can find it difficult. And then a technician just goes there and sees the thing. Like, this is it right here, Technicians practice the same thing over and over again, several years. They are exposed to similar things. But scientists, they want to do this and then jump to another thing, and then so their experiences in those fields differ. And then for postdoctoral students, this is their new idea and they're trying to implement the idea. So it's not like they already had an idea of that and then trying to implement it. No, they're just trying to implement a new idea that they just nurtured. And that's why it's difficult for them to figure out certain things. For me, where do I fall in? I don't even see anything. But that we move. Even this experiment, sometimes, you know, it's not like you have to, your hypothesis has to be positive. Sometimes hypothesis can just be negative, or it doesn't even make sense. But yeah, the ability to think is what is necessary in science. Ideas have been dropped. Like tomorrow, you can hear of a new virus, you can hear of a new bacterium, you can hear of a new this, new that. So your ideas have to be advanced as they come. It's not like you have to dwell in one of that things. But it's this difficult part of a scientist's life, you know, whereby you have to spend long day in the lab, and you go back home. You don't need have time to family. Sometimes it's discouraging and very, very tough. I'm glad to be working under my supervisor currently, and she's very, very curious. She shares ideas, and I like her. Someone just encountered. In their life as scientists, it might be difficult for them to cope with their family, and it's not always easy. I don't find it very fun. For me, I have time for everything. Like I could even spend 2 hours in the lab, depending on what I'm doing, and then I have time to myself. That's why I wouldn't want someone to waste my time, no matter what. Like if we're going to have fun somewhere, let's just keep the time and enjoy ourselves. We want to have like 6 hours time of fun. Yeah, I'm in. Just tell me on time, you know. And I fraction my time because I want to have time for myself. I want to have time for my family. I want to have time for what I enjoy doing as well. So all those things joined together makes me me. Yeah, my lab experience is not even bad. Like I like it. I'm not a lazy scientist, but I have to work under my supervisor to feel more advanced. My supervisor is coming, and I'm glad. One thing I know for sure is that I'm a researcher. I like getting new ideas. I like reading people's articles. I like writing articles. I like sourcing materials, and I like analyzing a lot of things. So this is me just being curious in the lab and trying to get one thing done. You see that it's not easy. This is just a few hours of me in the lab. Please subscribe.